Hi, everybody. It's nice to see you virtually. My name's Sam Bechara, and I'm the Associate Dean for Academic Affairs. And with me is...
Hi, everybody. My name's Jen Johnson, and I work as the director of the Engineering Success Center here at Colorado State University. We're so happy that you joined us, and we're really excited to share a little bit about Colorado State University and about the College of Engineering. Sam's going to kick us off.
All right, so to get us started, you might be wondering to yourself, why should I pick CSU Engineering? It's because we center student success and it's fun. That's why you should do it. So as you can see here in my photo, I'm actually wearing a bike helmet and all my safety gear. When you come to CSU, you can ask me why, and I'll give you the backstory. But let's just suffice it to say that we like to have fun, and we center your success. Student success is really like what we focus on. So, one of the other things that CSU is kind of known for is that we're kind of a humble school. And today I'm going to sort of eliminate that. We're going to brag. And so I'm going to start out by talking about some of the excellence that we have when it comes to engineering and engineering research. So to start us off, the College of Engineering does over $113 million in annual research expenditures a year. This includes partnerships with, the Marvel Fusion Laser Facility. We work with companies like Woodward and John Deere to help develop next generation clean burning energy technology. What this $113 million means for you as a student is that we have the researchers and the power to give you a world-class education. So as I mentioned, this $150 million Laser Center partnership, this was a partnership with the Department of Defense to actually create a viable clean energy source that is fusion. So we're bringing some of the most powerful lasers in the entire world here to CSU. And we have some of the world leading researchers when it comes to this type of research here in the College of Engineering. They could have gone anywhere, and they chose CSU for our expertise. The last little thing I wanted to brag about was the $177 million CSU NASA partnership for what's called the investigation of convective updrafts. A lot of people don't realize this, but engineering at Colorado State University is actually a climate and a satellite leader, a world leader. So when you see the news about the kind of next big storms, the next big cells that are coming in down the pipeline, a lot of that imagery and satellite information actually comes from CSU. So again, we're not gonna be humble anymore. We're gonna brag. CSU's awesome. We're doing big, great things, and we hope that you come here and join us and do those. Continue that legacy. So that legacy of excellence, just some numbers to kind of let you all kind of put this in perspective. We give over $3 million in scholarships a year. Most of these scholarships come from donors who believe in the mission. They want you to come to CSU because they know that we give you an education that's impactful so that you can go and then change the world. 90% of our students have plans secured after graduation. This is really wonderful. It makes teaching seniors very difficult because they already have jobs lined up. And so they're like, Dr. B, why should I take the final exam? Like, I'm already got a job. And so it's a wonderful problem to have, but most of our students have plans in the field that they want to go into before they graduate. 79% of our students complete internships. Again, this goes to highlight the strong industry partnerships and the kind of belief in our students. We have multiple companies that come specifically to CSU within the state of Colorado to recruit our students. We also can brag that we have the highest average first salary for any graduate at CSU, which is about $73,000. And keep in mind that this is an average, so some students actually end up making significantly more than this. But we're very proud of this because this highlights that excellence in education, these excellent outcomes. Our students are highly desired in industry. All right, a little bit more bragging. Like I mentioned before, we have this world-renowned atmospheric science research and satellite missions. Again, when you see these kind of big, images of satellite storms from space, that's coming from CSU. We're the ones that are supplying that information. We have over 10, we have 10 astronauts affiliated with CSU, and we have 13 members in the national academies. This is essentially the highest possible level that you can get as a scientist or researcher in the United States. And we have 13 of our faculty that are members of the National Academies of Engineering, the National Academies of Science, and the National Academies of Inventors. So for example, Dr. Susan James is in the National Academy of Inventors. She's invented a material called biopoly that goes inside of orthopedic implants that has been shown to improve their wear properties like significantly. And we're really proud of her. You can come and take material science from Sue. These faculty are for you to engage with and to really get deep into that, excellent research and that really cutting edge technology. All right, I'll keep kind of bragging. So pictured here is one of our university distinguished professors, Carmen Minoni. She's one of the professors that's working on this laser initiative that I talked about earlier. And we're really proud to say that we have 7 first-year engineering students actually working on these high-powered lasers. And so that's what you can see in this picture here. This is a freshman student that gets to work with Carmen and get exposure to all of these incredible next generation techniques, things like, lasers, optical techniques, learning about extreme ultraviolet technology. Students get to become proficient in this type of science and technology, which is really beneficial for them later in their career. So that's why this kind of excellence in research translates for you as a student. We have, if you ever have the chance to visit Fort Collins, I highly recommend that you go and check out the Powerhouse, which is a really world-class research facility. In that building, we house some world experts in all sorts of areas. So in aerospace propulsion, we have Dr. Chiprian, who's working on figuring out how we can make more energy efficient aircraft. We have researchers working on combustion and gas turbines with Caterpillar, so like Dr. Brett Wyndham. We have people working on engine testing. We have researchers that are working on air quality and air pollution. So you may have seen CSU in the news. Dr. John Volkins was recently in the news during the COVID-19 epidemic because he was one of the researchers that was looking at how masks actually prevent the transmission of disease. So this is great, but what does it mean for you? We have 113 students that actually go and work at the Powerhouse, getting this hands-on experience working with these researchers. And so pictured in the little picture in the slideshow here, you could see one of the world's largest diesel engines. And so students actually get to work and get their hands on this really cool cutting edge technology and work with world-class leaders in their fields. And then this legacy of excellence transcends just what I'm talking about here, and that we have a reputation. And so what that means is that we've got an ambitious gift from Don and Susie Law. Those are 2 alumni who believe in what we're doing at CSU to the tune of $110 million. And so we're going to be building a brand new engineering building. By the time, if you come to CSU sometime in your sophomore, junior year, this building will get online. Depending on when you're watching this video. And it's going to be a cutting edge space. We're talking about AI maker spaces. There's going to be robotics. It's just going to be a really wonderful, vibrant place where students can actually learn in an interdisciplinary manner. There's going to be physical prototyping, digital prototyping labs, startup garages to accelerate student innovation and entrepreneurship. It's going to be an amazing place, and we're super excited about it. And it wouldn't be possible without this large donation and gift, which again highlights our excellence. Like, again, we wouldn't get this gift if these people didn't believe in us. The last part of our kind of bragging, over a quarter of our students participate in study abroad experiences. So if this is something that you're interested in, you can do that here at CSU. When I was a student in engineering, there was literally 0 options. And so we've worked super hard to craft a wide menu of study abroad opportunities so that you can kind of choose what works for you. We have first year abroad programs that go to Denmark, Germany, and the UK. So if you want to, before you even start at CSU, you can go travel abroad with a faculty member, learn what it means to be an engineer from kind of a global context. We also have a partnership with what's called Semester at Sea. Dr. Jen Johnson can talk about that. She's actually gone on those trips. But Semester at Sea is this really cool experience where you get to go on a cruise boat, you get to go around the world, and you get to learn thermodynamics while you're at it. So again, we're really proud of this sort of legacy of excellence around abroad experiences and creating the opportunity for you to go and be an engineer across the world. Okay, CSU is excellent. That's great. But as you as a student, you might be wondering, what will I do when I get to CSU? Well, we believe that you learn engineering best by doing. And so hands-on learning is something that we emphasize in all of our basically every single part of our curriculum emphasizes this hands-on learning. So what you see in this picture here is some students that actually competed in the AICHE, which is the Chemical Engineering Society competition. They designed a carbon capture cube, which would sequester carbon dioxide out of the air and store it safely and permanently. So this decarbonized air kind of can come out the other side. And we're really proud of them. And they're highlighting this sort of hands-on learning that we do here at CSU. So these are undergraduate students that created this. And really, this hands-on experience permeates every single thing that we do, starting from day one. So, in engineering at CSU, you're going to make things. You're going to I make a joke that if we don't start any fires the first year, your freshman year, that like, that's a good thing. We don't want to start a fire, but like that means that we're not doing things right because we're going to be making mistakes. We're going to be cutting wires that maybe we shouldn't have cut. But that's what it means to learn is by actually getting your hands onto real engineering equipment. And that's what we emphasize throughout the entire curriculum is this engineering by doing, this hands-on learning. This also translates to research. So I talked about our excellence in research. We have 67 students that currently participate in what's called this SURE program, which is partly Scott scholars and partly first-gen students. It's also open to other students as well, but they actually can get involved in research with these world-class researchers. So this represents about 10% of our students. It's really hard to get exact numbers because just due to the way that research is reported, but almost 1 in 10 of our students actually will get involved in undergraduate research their freshman year, which we're really excited about. Just I'll be fully transparent. We don't have enough undergraduate research for every single student to do it, but if it's something that you're interested in and passionate about, we can find a place for you. This kind of engineering by doing translates into really cool student projects that we're really proud of. There's over 500 student organizations at CSU, which kind of range from everything that you could possibly think of, from kind of hardcore nerd engineering clubs to, there's Quidditch clubs, there's euchre clubs. If any Midwesterners are watching the video, you can come play some cards. We have student orgs for everything. There's two that I really want to highlight though. So in the pictures in the slides, you'll see one of them is the CASE project. So there's a student on campus who was born without arms, and driving was something that this student has dreamed of doing, that kind of feeling of independence that we all take for granted. This particular student, could only dream of it. So in 2022, a group of students came together to actually build a vehicle for this particular student so that he could operate it with his feet. And we're really proud of them. They have been featured in the news and all sorts of cool stuff. But this is a student org that as a freshman, you can get involved in. And the other group that we're really proud of is STEM for Kids. And so in the bottom left corner of the picture, you can see we're very proud of Gabby. And so this is a student organization that actually goes out into the local community and tries to get students fired up about engineering and STEM. And so they do all sorts of fun activities. They have the students build rockets. They do 3D printing labs. But this is just a very small subset of the student orgs. There's groups that are affinity groups for different types of identities. We have different groups for all of the different majors. Like I said, if you're interested in it, we've got a group of students that are probably doing it. So, okay, so we've got excellence in research, we've got the hands-on learning. What does it look like for you? What will it look like when you come to CSU, and why should you come here? It's because we have excellent outcomes. So we have these excellent research, we give you this hands-on learning. What that means for you is that you're going to be able to get a job, go to graduate school, which is really important. That's probably why you want to come to the university. So we support you by having 3 engineering-specific career fairs every academic year. The reason that we have 3 is because we have so many employers that want to come and take our students that for years we had a waiting list. And then recently, as a college, we decided, well, that's kind of crazy. Why are we turning away companies? Let's just add another day to the career fair. So now we're at 3 engineering-specific career fairs every year. We have over 100 employers attend each of these career fairs, and this translates to thousands of students and alumni attending each of these. They're vibrant, wonderful places, lots of resumes getting thrown around, lots of students getting internships. And so we help you find this sort of opportunities. We bring the employers to you, and that's the beauty of a CSU engineering education is that you're going to be in demand. So let the employers come to you, and then you get to do a little bit of shopping at these three career fairs that we have every year. Some of the companies, this is a very small subset, but just to kind of like, show some of what it looks like at these career fairs. So, we have very, very large kind of construction companies like Kiewit come, NREL, the national labs love our students. So we have students go to NREL, Los Alamos, Sandia National Labs. Um, Denver water, so if you're in, water is a huge problem in the West. And so a lot of our engineering students are focused on water and figuring out how we have better access to clean water. Woodward is a company that's actually local to Fort Collins. They build a lot of aerospace components. Tolmar for biomedical engineering. So we really have a wide swath of companies that come and recruit our students because of this kind of excellent research, excellent hands-on education leads to kind of excellent outcomes for you as a student. So, okay, so maybe you're like, okay, I'm all in. What does this look like for me as a student? Well, the neat thing is that we have a common first year experience, which means that you can choose any major that you would like. During your first freshman year, you'll have the opportunity to take courses that are designed to help you get exposure to all of the different major options so that you can choose the major that's right for you. The one thing that I really want to make sure that it's very clear is that you do not need to declare your major or try to get into your major. You can choose whatever major you'd like. You can say, hey, I just want to be open option. Hey, I'm sure I want to be a mech, or I'm kind of thinking about computer engineering. You come to CSU. During that common first year experience, you'll have the opportunity to try every single one of the majors and see which one works for you. And at the end of your freshman year, you can change majors without any penalty. There are no caps. So you can go into any of the majors that you'd like. This is different than other programs that have common first year experiences where they'll say like we're going to cap that there's going to be 200 mech students total. At CSU, we believe that you should be able to find your energy and pursue your passions. And so if you want to be a mech and you get into the College of Engineering, I promise you that we will have a spot for you. The beauty of this is that this is kind of gives you that small community feel, but with tons of opportunities. Um, so, I'm just going to really briefly kind of go over all of the different majors. So you'll notice that biomedical engineering is kind of linked to one of the four majors below it. That's because currently our biomedical engineering degree is a double major option. So if you decide you want to do biomedical engineering, you have to couple it with one of the four traditional engineering fields. This was done because in conjunction with our industrial advisory board, we found that students had much better times getting employment when they were able to tell the employers what type of biomedical engineer they were. So, for example, if you do a biomedical engineering major, and you double major with mechanical engineering, that means that you're like a biomechanics expert. You're going to be looking at things like orthopedic implants, doing computational fluid dynamics on heart valves, that sort of thing. If you do biomedical engineering with computer engineering, oh, okay, I see what you're working on. You're the kind of person that's looking at algorithms to be able to decode how our brain functions. And so looking at EEG data and creating, algorithms to try to understand how that correlates to our actions. So the biomedical engineering is a double major with either chemical and biological, computer, electrical, or mechanical engineering. And it is kind of like it sounds. It's kind of diving into that biomedical world, making sure that healthcare, kind of pushing that forward, 21st century medicine. That's kind of what our biomedical engineers do. And that's a real strength here at CSU. And we were the first program in the state of Colorado to actually offer biomedical engineering. Civil engineering, this is things like, if you're interested in civil infrastructure, buildings, bridges, roads, civil engineers learned how to design those safely. And then we have a new construction engineering program that we're really excited about. So civil engineers do the design, figure out how this building and this bridge is going to get built. or sorry, they design the building, and then the construction engineers come in to figure out how that building is going to get built, how it's going to get built on time. If any of you live in Colorado and you've driven on I-25, you know that we need more construction engineers. Um, so maybe we can start now that we've got this program up and running. Maybe we'll start to graduate some, and they'll go work for the Colorado Department of Transportation and actually get some of these projects figured out on time. Our environmental engineering students are working on figuring out how do we get access to clean water? How do we make sure that the air that we breathe is clean and safe? Um, Chemical and biological engineers do a wide variety of things, from looking at how we can use algae to create biofuels to assay development for the pharmaceutical industries. Basically, if you like chemistry, but you know you want to build things, that's the spot for you. Computer engineering is a huge field right now, and at CSU we're really emphasizing artificial intelligence and machine learning in our computer engineering curriculum. So these are words that you've definitely heard about. And so at CSU, if you come into our computer engineering program, you're going to leave an expert in how you design these types of artificial intelligence systems to really create the 21st century technologies that we need to solve the grand challenges of our time. Electrical engineering, this is a field that, again, is just exploding. And when we look at what the job market demands, we need more electrical engineers because basically every single device that we have in our modern world is an electrical device in some way. Things that were historically mechanical are having electrical components kind of sneak into them. So electrical engineers basically get their hands on everything. The coffee mug that I'm looking at on my desk has electronic components in it. So electrical engineers are ubiquitous, and they basically are designing the electronic components inside of all of the kind of 21st century devices. Mechanical engineering is one of the oldest types of engineering, and these are things, so it's a very well-defined field. But if it's a machine, if it moves, mechanical engineers are the ones that designed it. So sort of the historical things that we think about with mechanical engineering are cars and airplanes. But the truth is the mechanical engineering in the 21st century is a lot more than that. That's definitely part of it. But mechanical engineers of the 21st century are interested in how do we get clean energy? How do we then, so we can take energy out of the air with wind turbines, with photovoltaic cells. And we have some of the world leaders that are sort of in this renewable, sustainable energy space in our mechanical engineering department. But again, you don't have to worry about which one of these you want, because at CSU, you come in, you take this common first year experience, you get to then experience all of these different majors. You don't have to choose which one. At the end of your freshman year, you pick the one that's right for you. You get this hands-on learning experience where every single class you're going to be getting your hands dirty, you're going to be making things, you're going to be building things, so that when you're done, you're sitting in my senior class that I'm teaching and you're like, Dr. B, I got a job. I don't know what you're yapping at me for. There's 3 weeks to go, but I'm done. And that's kind of what we're really proud of here at CSU, is this pipeline. You get to come to CSU, choose what major works for you. No caps, nothing to fight through. We're going to help you get there by giving you this hands-on learning, and then we're going to push you out the door, so that you can, be an alumni and go and change the world. Um, the last thing that I kind of wanted to talk to you about before I turn it over to Jen is this accelerated master's program. So at CSU, in every single one of our majors, if you have the option of pursuing a master's degree on an accelerated track, which essentially means that when you're a senior, you can take 500 level courses as opposed to the 400 level courses, and apply those both towards your undergraduate degree and a graduate degree. The cool thing about these credits is that you can actually take these 9 credits. I think it's up to 9 credits in your senior year that you can do this. And then you can just decide, you know what, I'm actually going to go, bike around Europe for a year, and then come back and still have those credits be applied. So it's a really, really cool way that you can actually earn graduate credits that you can use towards a graduate degree. And a lot of our students that do this AMP program end up finishing their master's in only an extra year. This is a really huge benefit to you as a student, because what we've seen is that students that do have a graduate degree, so a master's degree as opposed to a bachelor's degree, average about 20,000 more in average starting salary. So if you can come to CSU for one more year, get your master's degree, you go out into the world, you're starting to make 90 to $100,000 a year. That can really pay off for you in the long term. So, okay, enough about that. So I told you we've got excellent research. We've got this kind of really hands-on learning is embedded in our curriculum, and we're going to help you get a really good job. But what Jen's going to talk about, so Jen's up next, is that's all really helpful, but there's all of these other parts about being a college student that you might be worried about. And so the last thing that we're really proud of is our supportive people and programs. So I'll stop talking and I'll turn it over to Dr. Jen Johnson to let you know how we're going to prepare you and make sure that you're successful in this really difficult engineering career.
Thanks, Sam. Yeah, so just as a reminder, I work as the director of the Engineering Success Center. And basically what that means is that I supervise a whole bunch of people whose literal jobs it is to help students succeed once they get to CSU. And so my background is in education. I'm not an engineer by trade, so my PhD is actually in studying what helps students to succeed in college. And what we know from that is that typically, students are likely to need support in 3 primary areas, and those are academic support. So sometimes students will face academic challenges and they'll need additional supports to help them get through the academic coursework. The second area that we like to provide really strong support is around contributing to students' sense of belonging, helping students to find their people, helping students to sort of find their sense of community at CSU. And then the third area has to do with a broader category, which I would describe as sort of personal challenges. So maybe this is a mental health issue or any health issue, or maybe the student has a financial challenge, or there's a whole variety of things that students can come to us with. And so we want to be prepared for all of those things once you arrive at CSU. So I wanted to talk a little bit about some of the things that we have available to students here in the College of Engineering and also at CSU broadly to sort of address those 3 areas. One of the things that we do to help evaluate how we're doing on this front is a survey that we give to our students after they complete their degree. And so we ask them, how was your experience at CSU? How did you find your relationships with staff and faculty? Would you do this again? And then we ask them for feedback about what we can improve in the future. And we're really proud of our results. You can see here on this slide that 91% of our students said that a staff or faculty member made a positive difference to them. 84% said that they would choose their major again, and 90% would definitely or probably choose CSU again. So what we know from this is that once students get here to CSU and to the College of Engineering, they generally have a really positive experience. And I think some of that has to do with our ability to sort of anticipate the needs of students and then to meet their needs once they arrive. So one of the things that I want to talk a little bit about is that when it comes to that first category of challenges, which can be around academic experiences, having a personal relationship with a staff or faculty member at CSU can really make a difference in terms of getting additional support. One of the things that we're really proud of in the College of Engineering is that we have a 22-to-1 student to faculty ratio in the College of Engineering. And when we look at those ratios at our competitor institutions, they're typically much higher than that. This low ratio means that it's easier for students to make one-on-one relationships with faculty, to get support with their homework or exams, to maybe get involved with a research or a lab experience with our faculty. And it's something that we know can really help students to succeed once they arrive here at CSU. The other thing, and this slide just shows generally the programs that we have available to support students. And so I want to talk through some of the ones that we know are proven to be very effective. So one of the things that we're really proud of is that we have a very large and engaged learning community affiliated with the College of Engineering here at CSU. So we have 2 different residence halls that engineering students can live in. Academic Academic Village and Edwards Hall. And we centralize a lot of our programming and our supports to students that live in those buildings. If a student chooses not to live in those buildings, that's okay. You can access those facilities. It's just very convenient if you live in those spaces. We have some really nice lab spaces, computer lab spaces, 3D printing spaces, that sort of thing. But we also have sort of daily and weekly programming and activities for our engineering students, things like having dinner with a faculty or staff member. Many of our student organizations in the college have their meetings in the learning community. And then we also bring our career experts and our industry partners into the community to connect with students. And so living in that community can be a really great opportunity for our engineering students, not only to connect with their peers who are taking similar classes, but also to get a little bit more exposure about all the avenues that people can pursue once they become an engineer. The picture on the bottom right there is a picture of some of our career specialists. So we actually employ 2 full-time staff members here in the College of Engineering, specifically dedicated to engineering students and supporting their career goals. And so often those 2 staff people are supporting people as they approach graduation, but even before that, they can help students with resumes. They can help students to identify internships or co-ops or personal projects that will help students to figure out the ways that they want to apply their engineering education to their future, whether that be in industry or further education. I'm going to move on to the next slide. Here's a little bit more detail on the engineering thematic community. I talked a little bit about that as well. Again, just to reiterate, it's located in Academic Village and Edwards Hall. We have classrooms in the Academic Village where first-year students take some of their courses. So again, if you have a student that wants to go to class in their pajamas, this is a good opportunity to do that. We also have people live-in staff that live in the residence halls with the students. And research on these learning communities have demonstrated that students that live in them generally have higher GPAs and experience a greater sense of belonging on campus. And like I mentioned before, there's daily activities and different opportunities for students to participate in. And there is not a separate housing application for this opportunity. And if you want more information, there's a QR code there that you can scan and get more details about how to participate. Sam and I just want to say thank you. We're really, really proud about the experience that we offer students here at CSU. And if you're watching this video from a place that's far away, we'd like to encourage you to go ahead and scan the QR code. If you would like to ever visit and go on a tour of our labs, meet some of our students and our staff, it's very easy to arrange that through our Office of Admissions and through our student ambassadors for the College of Engineering. We love talking about what we're doing, and we like introducing people to our community. So we hope that you'll come and visit us. And we want to thank you for listening. Sam, is there anything else that you wanted to say before we wrap up?
Just want to point out, Jen and I have our emails right there on the slide, so feel free to email us if you have any questions, and we're looking forward to seeing you. So when you come by, make sure you swing by our office for some chocolate and maybe try to make one of our infamous basketball shots. We have a basketball hoop in the Engineering Success Center, so we're really looking forward to hearing from you all, and yeah, we'll see you in the fall.
Thanks so much, everybody. Have a great day.
Thank you, guys.